Hello dear friends, my name is Jitendra Bafna. I am a senior MuleSoft architect. In this tutorial, we will going to see MuleSoft and the GraphQL part 5. So, in previous tutorial, we have seen a few of the use cases and now we will complete our use cases too. We have already implemented account balances. Now, how we can implement the transaction, we will see that. So, for transaction, I don't have a system API, right? The first thing I will create a system API for my transaction. Okay, so what I will do, I will just drag and drop a listener. I will start configuring the listener. So it should be accounts slash account id slash transactions. Okay, and I will create one file which is known as transaction.json. Right now I am reading a data from one file. So let's consider like in real scenario, he will definitely not read from any file, or he will might be reading from some core banking system because it's a banking API, or maybe it's from some database. But here I am just for demo purpose, I am using the file. So I can say transaction.json, finish it, and I will copy this particular payload and I will paste it here. So everything is good. So it have field transaction ID, description, amount and current. Okay, so let me save it. I will go to my system API and I will use a read component. Let's wait. It not responding. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so you can say read file read. I can drag and drop file read component. Then I can simply click on this particular three dots. Then I can read this particular file, mean it should be resources and transaction.json. So my transaction API is system API is ready. You can save everything, go to console and check whether the API is deployed. So till that, so in my graph IQL you can see I have already defined for the balances also. In balances I want something called balance type and amount. You can send the request. Application is not, it must be deployed, it's deploying, right? So you can wait, you may got the error. It may time out because the application is still deploying, but we haven't done added anything for transaction. You should get the response. Okay, we got the response. Now we have system API ready. Then we have to do the changes in my schema QLS. Here I can say transactions. I want a transaction, right? Then I want define a type transaction. So my transaction in the square bracket because it's an array of transaction. Then I will define the field. What are the field? Transaction ID, description. So I can say tab transaction ID. It's of type string. Description is of type string. Then amount is of type float. Then currency is of type string. Okay, then comes to transaction date. You can keep date time also, but I will keep string only for demo purpose. You can define the different data type for date. So now my transaction, I have added the logic for like schema for my transaction in schema.graphqls. Now I can go to my GraphQL. So now I have to define a resolver for a transaction. So simply I can say GraphQL, I will call a field resolver. You can define anywhere. I will first thing I will always give a better name to my flow. So it can be GraphQL GraphQL transaction. Okay, then I will start configuring my GraphQL. I will use the same GraphQL config. In this time, field name will be transaction payload. Yeah, that's fine. Then I will use a logger. I will copy the content from this particular logger. I can say transaction resolver. Then I can use execute. I will use the Groovy script to read the source. So in our case, the source will be the accounts. Okay. So I will store a source in my payload. Source is equals to, first I will store a params. If there is any param, for that we use attributes dot get arguments. Then source, it can be source, payload, whatever. So I will say source attributes dot get source curly bracket square bracket. Okay. Now I will use a requester. I have forget to do one setting in this execute. So basically I can to go to execute, and you have to define a engine type. So it's what type of, if there's a sometime it doesn't come into drop down, I can use a Groovy. Okay. Now I can go to requester. In requester I will directly give a URL. So I can say http localhost 8081 slash accounts slash account id slash transactions. Now how I can read a account id? Account id is my URI parameter. So I can say account id. Then you can say payload, where we have stored the source in source variable. What is the field name? id. So basically account always written id, so it's payload source dot id. So you can save everything. Once you save it, you have I forget to do one thing. You have to convert a message into Java. Okay. Yeah, so I have completed the system API and the GraphQL API for all the balance or everything. Save the application, and what I will do, let first test with this, then like we will see. Let's application to deploy it. Let me maximize it. Clear the console and let test what happens. It's still deploying. Okay, yeah, it's try type error failed to fetch the data. Now try it. Okay, So you will see it calling account resolver, it calling balance resolver, but it haven't called the transaction resolver because we haven't passed the field transactions. So now I can do like this, transaction. What you want in transaction? I want a transaction ID. Send a request. So I got the transaction ID, right? If you want more fields, basically amount, description, then you can have a currency. See, you can see one more, one more benefit. See, basically, like if you directly running my API, right? Like let's consider I'm running my transaction API. In this case, like you get transaction ID, description, amount, currency, and transaction date. But if you want to change the order, right? Right? If you want amount before transaction ID, right? So before transaction ID, so you can get it like you can use the graph API for that purpose also. Like you can definitely order your fields basically. So in this case, like if I am keep on hitting direct system API, you cannot change the order, but using GraphQL you can do that. So that is the one more advantage you are getting from the GraphQL. And the transaction, I want transactions date also, I can do that. Send request, I got the transaction date also. I got transaction. Now if you see the console, okay, you will see it calling account resolver, transaction resolver, and the balance resolver, everything. Calling transaction, balance resolver, it calls everybody. Okay, so let me clear the console and let me show you once again. So it call account resolver, balance resolver, and the transaction resolver. But if I remove, let's consider I don't want to see the balance, I can remove this. Now test it. So you will not get the balance, you will get a transaction. In this case it will call account and the transaction resolver. In balance resolver will be never called. Okay, so basically this completed my use case 2 also. Okay, so I have done with use case 1 and use case 2. I hope you like the video. I will upload this code to the GitHub and you can access the code from the GitHub. I hope you like the video. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please click on subscribe and like button.